What's up, Titan fans, and welcome along to Week 3 of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Jason Mackey, and alongside Coach Han, we're going to talk about the Titans' big win last week over Hiram, 38-7. We're going to preview the homecoming game against Thomas More. Steve's got a great pack report, and we got a player interview this week with Sean Buggy, so stay tuned. But right now, let's take a look at the first half highlights.
All right, let's kick it off with the Titans' first possession here. Sean Buggy takes this handoff and should have been down about 5 times on this run. Buggy even knocks over the official, but a huge run there for 17 yards to the Hiram 37-yard line. And another Sean Buggy run is going to set up the Titans' first score. As you'll see in a second, Buggy almost breaks it here, but he is down at the Hiram 18-yard line. And now on a 3rd and 10, J.R. Barley doesn't see anything, takes it himself, picks up a big block there from Jason DeCello, and it sets up the Titans' first touchdown of the season. Yes, folks, it did happen. Sean Buggy from 2 yards out takes it in himself, and the Titans are on the board 7-0 early on. Trevor Henderson right here on a 3rd and 4, the Hiram quarterback. They're going to try an option play, but that's not going to work. Jerome Bonenberger just flattens them right there. And now the Titans fumble, though. Little miscommunication there on the snap. Gives them the ball back. Hiram can't do anything with it. The Titans' next possession. Brett Myers in the quarterback. Fires one to Scott Davenport. Almost has that one on the near sideline, but just barely steps out. Now a big run by Sean Buggy there on the left-hand side. He gets some offense going 8 yards, and then a touchdown by Biro would put the Titans on top 14-0. After a load of penalties, though, you'll see Castillo kicking all the way back from his own 20-yard line. This one returns from midfield. It's going to set up the next Hiram score. Trevor Henderson sacked there, but important play. A personal foul was called, so that would not count. Trevor Henderson fumbles this snap, going to hit Max Kravitz on the near sideline, though. Kind of a freak play, but they completed on the fade pattern, and then it sets up this. Trevor Henderson fires one to Matt Hardy through the hands of Jared Smith, but still good for 7 points. Titans on top 14-7 at this point. Now 3rd and 5, Brett Myers still in a quarterback, hits Brett Ziegler. That one good for 5. Myers back again. He's going to hit Ziegler this time for 15 yards, all the way down to the Hiram 35-yard line. Eddie Williams, he ran well too. This one good for 17 yards down to the Hiram 18, setting up another, remember last week, Chris Castillo field goal. This one good from 35 yards out. Up, and of course it is good. Now the Titans get the football back before the end of the half. Right here, Brett Myers to Jake Buzzard. Nice play by Buzzard, getting out of bounds here to stop the clock. But Castillo would try a field goal from 48 yards out. As you see here, though, came up a little bit short. No good. At the end of the first half, Titans on top 17-7.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. Jason Mackey and Coach Han here with you to talk about the first half. And, Coach, it seemed like there was a lot of official conferences, maybe some indecision on their part. What was going on down there?
I don't know. They they made some interesting calls, and they needed to converse about it. And some of the time they came away with the right decision. Sometime they didn't. But I wasn't pleased with our personal fouls. It's the first ones we've had for the year. Granted they were a little bit questionable, but we need to eliminate that as a football team.
Now, Brett Myers came in a quarterback for the injured J.R. Barley. What was your assessment of how he played? Pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that Brett did a nice job, and he certainly stepped up and led when he was called upon. And this is the time that he was called upon, and he did a real nice job, and he's starting to come into his own.
Now, what is the status of Barley for this week, and did you name a starter yet?
We didn't name a starter yet. The status of JR is that he's coming along quite well, but at the same time, we want to be smart about it, and we don't ever want to put anybody on the field that is not 100%.
Now, Josh Biro caught a touchdown this past week. Now, was this intentional to try to throw more to the tight end, or it just kind of happened?
Well, it's actually been intentional for a little while now, but we finally completed a few to him, and it's definitely positive that it was a touchdown.
Now, we saw Tom Campana play a lot at center and guard. Is this a permanent change?
No, I mean we're taking a look at some other offensive linemen, and Tom has a good mean streak in him, and he plays pretty physically, and he's coming around. But we're not abandoning our starting lineup.
Now, there was some indecision at the end of the first half as to kick a field goal, call a timeout. What was going on there with the coaching staff and your decision making?
Well, it was something as a head coach, I had wanted a few more yards, and to put Chris in a position that he could be successful at. I really believe if we got 3, 4, 5 more yards, he would have been a lot more confident in it. Of course, Chris wanted to kick the field goal, and the way things worked out, we called the timeout, and he had a chance at it. But we wanted to get a few more yards for our kicker, but that's me as head coach. We need to improve on that.
All right, well, after the first half, the Titans are on top 17-7. Let's see what they do in the second as we look at the second half highlights.
Titans get the football first here in the third quarter. Sean Buggy takes this one at his own 8-yard line. He's going to take it 52 yards all the way across midfield to the Hiram 40-yard line. Buggy's longest return of the season. Titans were not able to score on the drive, though. Would have to give the football back to Hiram now. Watch the bottom of your screen. Number 99, Adam Abadney, coming off his block, knocks Michael Pace back for a loss of a yard. Titans now with the football. Sean Buggy takes this one 13 yards down to the Hiram 36-yard line, but the Titans were still unable to score on the drive, as we will show you. Brett Myers looking to pass here on a 3rd and 2 situation. Finds his fullback, Scott Davenport. That one good for 4, and the Titans pick up a first down, but this is how the drive stalled. Buggy takes the flip to the left-hand side. He's going to get 3 yards on the play. Needed 5, though. Went backwards a little bit, and they would have to turn the football over. There was a holding call, and Hiram just took the yardage. Hiram now on offense. Greg Piper's going to be blitzing here from the bottom of your screen and sack Trevor Henderson, a loss of 9 on the play. Hiram did not score on the drive. Westminster now with the football back. 2 teams trading a couple 3-and-outs, see who can get on the board. Titans now. Brett Myers fires it over the middle. Josh Biro gets it for 14 yards, but they weren't able to score on the drive. Hiram now. Run left-hand side, but nice play by Andrew Robinson. Coming off the end, knocks Sean Kaminsky back for a loss of 2. Now on a 3rd and 12 situation, Henderson fumbles the snap. That's not going to get it done. Hiram has to punt it away. Titans now with the football back, and Sean Buggy, one of the best runs you'll see all season, takes this one 22 yards, and runs like that, they're going to get you on coach's corner. And right here, Buggy caps off the drive. 39 yards. He is gone. You ain't going to catch him right there. Good 39 yards for the Westminster touchdown. Titans on top 31-7 at this point. Hiram would get a little bit going there as Trevor Henderson heaves up a prayer, but a nice play by Jason Exline to come down with it. And here on a 4th down and 10 situation, Henderson back to pass, finds his tight end Mervyn Jones, but he got 5, he needed 10. You do the math, that's not going to work out. Titans now with the football back. Eddie Williams, he's going to try to match Buggy's performance. Had a great day, though. Rushes 24 yards on this one, down to the Hiram 31-yard line. Titans inevitably had to punt, though, on the drive. Rhodes' kick goes up, but the Titans will get the football back here, as you will see. Muffed by Sean Kaminsky, and Greg Piper has it. Titans back on offense now. Ron Rokiki takes this from 5 yards out for the Titans score, puts the Titans up 38-7, and as any team loves to see, the victory formation, that'll do it. Titans win this one 38-7 over Hiram.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. Jason Mackey and Coach Hand here with you, and you just saw the Titans wrap up a big win 38-7 over Hiram. Now, Coach Sean Buggy had absolutely a great day. Going to get him on the show in a little bit, but this has to lend to his senior leadership credibility too.
Oh, definitely. He was voted a captain by his teammates, and he definitely is coming into his own in his leadership ability. And this past week, his performance really showed.
Now, he had 26 carries, 178 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that game, as we will talk about in a little bit. But offensively, also, we saw Matt Knight kind of limp off the field. What's his status for this week, and what was going on there?
Oh, Matt's he's gonna play some this weekend. He's getting better each day. How much will he be able to play as much as he played last Saturday, we're not sure yet. But he's certainly gonna see some time Saturday.
Now, this is a play I talked with Coach Fusco about, and I'm still not sure I understand it. The touchback play where the guy fielded, I believe it was Kaminsky, fielded it about the 5, dropped it, went in the end zone, tried to kneel. What was going on there? What was the official's ruling, if you could explain that?
The official's ruling is that it did not matter that he touched the ball outside of the end zone, but he did kneel on the ball before he was tackled. And I still am not 100% clear myself on that, but that's what three of the officials signaled safety, and we certainly were excited to get a safety, first one of the year, but that was their ruling.
That was Coach Fusco's thing too. He said the knee was down before he got hit, so whatever, that's the call. Jerry Bonneberger on defense now has been doing a great job. He's all over the field. Seems like he didn't miss any time at all.
Jerry, he's doing a nice job, and he certainly is going to get better and better each week because of the year out. And but we can't we can't take him for granted. He's certainly a leader on the defense.
But something Friday night, I've been waiting a while to ask you about this. You guys all went to a movie. Y'all went to see The Longest Yard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually on campus. Through the student activities, one of the guys is involved with the student activities board, and Camille Hawthorne helped arrange a movie for the guys, and gave us snacks and everything. So it was a great deal for everyone involved, I believe, and hopefully the guys enjoyed it.
Now, if we get back to Hiram here for a little bit, you guys really spread the ball around. Did you notice this on the field, or when you looked at the stat sheet, did it kind of surprise you how many guys touched the ball?
No, I mean we try to spread the ball around a good amount. I mean in other games it didn't seem like that, but we certainly, as I've said before, we certainly want two tailbacks carrying the ball. To run the ball as much as we'd like to run the ball, it's hard to get one running back that many carries in one game. And then in a passing game, it's what the defense is going to give you of who's going to be touching the ball. I was very pleased when I saw as many people that touched the ball, though.
Now, if we try to sum this all up, last question, what were you happy with Hiram, and what are you really looking to improve on this coming week with Thomas More?
Well, we need to continue to improve our communication, offensively, defensively. This is new for everybody still a little bit. As a staff and as a team, I'm getting to know what's expected at what times. And we did improve on our third downs, which is something that I really emphasized last week, is us improving on third downs, and we need to continue to improve in that area. But we need to, in a game like that, know how to go in for the kill and put them away a little bit earlier than what we did, and we didn't smell blood.
All right, well, Titans on top 38-7. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with Steve Brink's Pack Report after this on Coach's Corner.
A soul and a cracked crab for Mr. Studied higher math back in school and now can order expensive lunches and charge it to the company.
Next office down the hall.
Well, thanks. Have a good one.
Ralph Hernandez, congratulations! You can now get college loans, government jobs, and job training.
Men must register with Selective Service when they turn 18. Go to sss.gov or the post office.
It's the law.
Picture yourself at Westminster College. Westminster offers an educational experience that is second to none. We've been exceeding students' expectations for 150 years. Westminster combines the prestige of a national liberal arts college with the personal attention you deserve. Westminster is a national leader in graduation rate performance and is the most affordable national liberal arts college in Pennsylvania. Visit Westminster's beautiful 300-acre campus to experience an ideal learning environment. Succeed at Westminster College.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, everyone. I'm Steve Brink, and this is the Week 3 edition of the Pack Report. Let's get things started by taking a look at the overall standings for this week. W&J and Teal control the top spots, while Thomas More and Westminster are tied for third at 2-1. Waynesburg is in fifth at 1-1, followed by Bethany at 1-2, and a winless Grove City team in last place. Now, taking a look at the conference standings, Thomas More remains at the top as they defeated another Pack opponent last weekend in the Grove City Wolverines in a huge defensive battle. Grove City now joins Bethany at 0-1 in Pack play. Everyone else has yet to play a conference game, but that will all be changing very soon. Now it's time to look back and recap what happened around the Pack last week, and we're going to start with that Thomas More Grove City game. It was a game in which the Wolverines had 9 sacks and held the Saints to only 36 yards on the ground, but 2 costly fumbles that were returned for Thomas More touchdowns proved to be the difference. Grove City quarterback Bradford Clark threw for a career-high 196 yards in the loss. W&J put up 530 yards of total offense last week as the Presidents cruised to a 45-21 win over Allegheny. Quarterback Chris Edwards set a new Division III record by throwing for 21 consecutive completions to start the game. Edwards finished 33 of 37 with 4 touchdowns. Running back Ryan Mendel also recorded his 3rd straight 100-yard game. Teal's secondary allowed only 14 yards through the air as the Tomcats beat Bluffton by a score of 42-0 Saturday. The defense forced 3 turnovers, and Stephen Minton put up 110 rushing yards, finding the end zone 3 times. Westminster running back Sean Buggy posted a career-high 178 yards on the ground as the Titans ran all over Hiram Saturday, winning 38-7. Sophomore quarterback Brett Myers replaced the injured J.R. Barley and threw 114 yards with 1 touchdown. The Titan defense allowed only 8 rushing yards on the day. Bethany scored 10 points in the last 6 minutes of their game to take the lead, but a kickoff return that went 80 yards with 49 seconds left beat the Bison 29-26. Wideout T.J. Parker had another 100-yard receiving day, catching 5 passes for 1 touchdown. Ryan Abels became the 7th player in Waynesburg history to rush for over 2,000 yards in his career as the Yellow Jackets extended their home win streak to 13 games by beating Manchester 28-7. Waynesburg picked off 3 passes and limited Manchester to 158 yards of total offense. Moving right along, it is now time to take a look at the PAC offensive and defensive players of the week, and we'll start with the offense. W&J quarterback Chris Edwards' record-setting day was good enough to earn him the weekly nomination. The senior from Uniontown, Ohio, threw for a career-high 419 yards while completing his first 21 passes of the game, which set a new Division III record, which I mentioned earlier. Grove City's Aaron Margot received the award this week as top defensive player. Margot had 3 of the Wolverines' 9 sacks while also recording 15 tackles. Now, every week we send out some love to 5 other top performers around the conference, and here's this week's edition of the Fantastic 5. At number 5, we have our first Grove City Wolverine of the season. Wide receiver Scott Fitcher caught 7 passes for a career-high 150 yards and 1 touchdown. W&J wideout John Miller comes in at number 4. Miller caught 9 balls for a career-high 134 yards and 2 scores. Another Wolverine cracks the top 5 at number 3 as Grove City linebacker Garrett Chobe had 15 tackles and 2 sacks against Thomas More. And at number 2, we have Teal running back Stephen Minton. Minton rushed 27 times for 110 yards and 3 scores. And finally at number 1, Westminster tailback Sean Buggy. Buggy had 26 carries for a career-high 178 yards and 3 touchdowns. And it just seemed like everyone had a career high in something this week. Well, we have another full week ahead of us as all 7 PAC teams are in action this Saturday, including 2 pivotal conference matchups. But first, we take a look at the W&J Presidents as they travel to Virginia to take on Emory and Henry College. W&J scored 76 points in last year's meeting, 49 of which came in the first quarter. Now, the first of those big conference matchups is between Bethany and Teal up in Greenville. The Tomcats are looking for conference win number 1, while the Bison look to avoid an 0-2 start in PAC play. The other big conference game takes place in New Wilmington as the Saints travel to Westminster. The Titans are 50-4 in homecoming games since 1952. The Saints are trying to start their conference play at 3-0. Waynesburg hosts Hanover this weekend. Hanover's touchdown with 15 seconds remaining gave them a victory over the Yellow Jackets last year. Waynesburg has a 13-game home winning streak. Grove City plays host to Muhlenberg Saturday. The Wolverines managed only 3 points in last year's meeting. Muhlenberg led the nation in total defense a season ago. And now let's take a look at the NFL Pick'em Challenge standings. It's already week 2, but I am in serious panic mode as I've already fallen 3 games behind Coach Han and 4 games behind our leader, Jason Mackey. If we take a look at this week's games, I'm going with a few underdogs, but I really have to. Take some chances because if not, who knows what kind of ridiculous outfit Jason and Coach Han will make me wear on the last edition of this show. That does it for this week's edition of the Pack Report. Let's kick it back to you, Jason.
Well, welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm Jason Mackey alongside Sean Buggy and Steve. We'll probably just let you turn in your picks about Tuesday morning. How's that sound? Maybe you'll get a 6-0 week out of it. We'll see. But like I said, we're here with Sean Buggy, and Sean, you had a huge game last week, 26, 178, 3 touchdowns. And did you do anything for your linemen? Obviously, you can't do it all yourself.
Well, I tried to help my linemen as best I can when I run the ball, and then I'm always looking out for them, trying to help them off the ground when they fall on the ground and stuff. But in my honest opinion, I think it's their job to take care of me.
Wow. But, not taking them out to dinner or anything?
No, I did say I'd make them brownies next week if I got 100 yards again, so we'll see what happens.
Make them brownies.
Yeah.
All right. How tired were you? How sore were you when you got up Sunday morning? I mean, that's a lot of carries, 26.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired every Sunday morning, but this Sunday morning was pretty different. It's always good when you wake up Sunday and have a win under your belt. We obviously, offense scored the first touchdown, so I mean, Sundays aren't as bad when you win and have a good game the day before.
All right, now talk about the offense. You guys look a heck of a lot different from week 1. What kind of changes internally have you guys made and have you noticed?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of the reason our offense is doing so well falls on the running backs. This is my first year in the system, so my reads were sort of off the first 2 weeks. I said around week 3 I'd start to pick things up, and it showed that we did. Offense line's getting a great push. Offense line was always there. Like I said, I think a lot of responsibility fell on me to do my job, and the offense scored the first touchdown. We scored quite a bit, and I hope we carried over in this week.
Now, me and Coach Hand talked about the importance of spreading the football around. Now, how important is it to you guys that different guys are getting their hands on the football?
I think it's real important. I mean, we have a great quarterback, 2 quarterbacks, Myers and Barley, and we have good core receivers. Ziegler's been catching a lot of balls and breaking a lot of runs off against Allegheny and Hiram. So, I mean, we got good players all around the field. And last week, as you mentioned with Coach Hand, Biro caught a touchdown pass. So, I think everything's working real well.
Now, I know when I played, one of the most important things I always thought was play action. How much of you guys stress this? And, it looks good. You guys have done a great job. How important is play action to you guys?
Play action is very important to us. Coach Pav's always stressed in play action. Everything looks the same. It's what Coach Han and Coach Pav both say. We run the ball a ton, so I mean, we get the defense sucking up and get them on play action. It gives all our receivers and quarterback a lot of time to throw the ball.
Now we got homecoming, as we'll highlight in a couple of minutes here with Coach Han, but we saw that record on the screen, 50-4. Now, what does playing a homecoming game at Westminster mean to you?
Well, 50-4 it's a great record. So I mean, a lot of responsibilities fall on us to keep that record going. I love homecoming just for the fact that so many people come to the games. A lot of alumni. I think the 1980 class is coming this year. So I'm really excited for everyone to come out and watch us play.
Now, last week we had Chris Castillo on. He took kind of a cheap shot at you. He said he wanted you in a kick return. Now, answer this question. Why are kickers not real players?
I think kickers are real players. I wouldn't say that they're real football players. I mean, I don't think I see Chris Castillo at the football practice. I mean, he goes up and kicks his field goals, comes down, trots around a little bit. But other than that, I don't see him too much. But as long as he keeps doing his job and hitting those game-winning field goals, he can say whatever he wants.
So what's going to happen if you two meet at the 50-yard line? He's trying to take you down.
Well, I mean, I'd love to go through him, but I'm probably going to have to go around him, put a move on him, get to the end zone. 6 points is worth one running over Chris Castillo.
All right, well, thanks, Buggy. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be back for me and Coach Han to talk about Thomas More here just a minute on Coach's Corner.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
The Lawrence County Humane Society believes in the safety of spaying and neutering your animals. Spaying and neutering can have many long-term benefits.
We at the Lawrence County Humane Society believe that all animals should be spayed or neutered. Many reasons why, but the biggest reason is that they will be a happier, healthier pet. Also, it alleviates the overpopulation problem.
Getting your animals spayed and neutered is one huge step in making sure that more animals are healthy and find loving homes.
I'm the best thing you ever had. Only thing I'm guilty of is giving you too much love, making you crazy, making you cigarette, making me fall, making me suspect. Seem to think I'm playing her game. Don't you know her? This is me.
There's a better way to have fun with history. Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. Jason Mackey and Coach Hand here with you to talk about the Thomas More Saints, the game that's going to be going on Saturday for homecoming. And Coach, if you flip through the roster, one name really sticks out, Mark Carlisle. 124 tackles last season. I mean, quite an impressive linebacker.
Yes, he is. He's a good linebacker, and they certainly have good core linebackers and defensive backs.
Now, what is the strength of their defense? If you say linebackers, defensive linemen, where does their strength really lie?
The linebackers and the defensive backs, not the defensive line. The defensive line is good. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely their speed. They have a good amount of speed in the secondary and play a good amount of man-to-man coverage, which can be dangerous, but at the same time, it gives us opportunity for big plays.
Now, you mentioned the word speed. The name that comes to mind on their offense, Tyran Thompson, the tailback. He started for a couple years. I mean, pretty good running back there, too. He's like a feature back.
Yeah, he's definitely their feature back. There's no doubt about it. We believe in probably a 70-30 or 65-35 split with our running backs, and they're probably more like an 80-20, 90-10. And he gets a good amount of carries. He runs the ball. He runs the ball well. He has decent vision, but his biggest strength is he runs the ball hard, and hopefully we can keep him contained.
I believe Robert Christopher is the other man that touches the ball there. But they also run a two-quarterback system. It seems like something that the Titans are seeing a lot of with Seth Ellis and Nate Berkeley.
Yeah, there's a right-handed guy and a left-handed quarterback, and I'm not great with names. I know their numbers, but the right-handed guy's getting the most of the reps, and he does a solid job. They both throw the ball downfield really well. They have some receivers that can get downfield, and this will be a big challenge for us defending the long ball downfield.
Now, 2 years ago down in Kentucky, we saw an absolute shootout between these two teams. Do you expect them to try to put some more points up on the board, or grind it out a lot more with Thompson?
Well, they're leading the conference in time of possession, and I don't think they'll go away from their game plan. I don't believe that they'll be in panic mode. I mean, they have no reason to be in panic mode. They're 2-0 in conference play, and they're having a successful season, and we have to be ready for that.
Now, Coach, something Buggy and I talked about, the 50-4 record on homecoming. Obviously important. It's your first homecoming at Westminster. How nervous are you at all?
I'm not really nervous. I mean, it's nothing to get nervous about, but it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting that it's a homecoming game. I think the guys will get a little bit more excited knowing that there's going to be a little bit better than normal crowd, and just the smell of a football game and the band playing and the excitement that surrounds any football game is intensified by homecoming, though.
All right, well, that does it for this week's edition of Coach's Corner. We'll see if the Titans can get that win on homecoming, and Coach had talked about singing that song with the band playing. We'll see if that can happen on Saturday, but we'll see you next week on Coach's Corner on the Westminster Cable Network.